Good evening, and welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we've got a mixed group of individuals, residents of the City Hall, who have, through various channels, found themselves arriving at the Oracle Tea Shop. The shop itself is a quaint little building, very traditional stone front, small plants hanging in the windows type of shop. Oddly lit almost entirely by candlelight, although they do have a single regular electric light outside. I will need a wits plus investigation from all of you. Miranda, yours would be diff 5 for this because you have related information.
3 from Milan.
I only got 2.
My epic one.
I got a few. I got 5.
All right. So, Ailey, you just know it's a herbal shop, tea shop, flower shop, and they deal in more eclectic plants. You're here because there's not a big list of places in the city likely to be carrying things like nightshade.
Right.
Milan and Miranda, you guys both will also know that this was one of the shops involved previously in the tainted herbs and teas investigations that were going on. Part of what perhaps pointed you this direction, the fact that there's a past history of odd goings on. Aaron, you don't know anything at all about herbology or flower shops. However, because Aaron's an analytical type of fellow, he would know that this is, again, the only place that is going to carry all those flowers in flower form. They also have a anonymous or like a self-service pickup cooler, which he would have picked up on because it's an order online. They put them in there, you pick them up and take them. And given the lack of delivery information, that led him to conclude that there's a good chance this service might be involved. It allows whoever buys these flowers and leaves them to stay anonymous and off the grid. He also found out there are very high Yelp reviews for the tea here.
That's definitely odd. Yo, like nobody.
Miranda's gonna walk in because she's dealt with this place before. She's looking for anybody that doesn't look alive. Because she's worried that they've switched up how they're doing their poisoning from diseases to toxic flowers. And she doesn't know what happened to the diseased person. So she will activate Life Sight.
All right.
It is a rote for her. And it's not vulgar, so 3 successes. She can see for the whole scene.
All right. Well, it is not a terribly busy night tonight in the Oracle Tea Shop. So you know there's a couple of regular looking folks as patrons. The woman behind the counter seems kind of muted to your sight. There's also a couple of cats that appear to be roaming around.
Is she muted kind of like Miranda might be muted some from Kindred Blood?
Closer to what you've seen from some of the younger vampires at the
Okay. At the formal thingies.
right.
Okay. So I guess she's gonna walk up to the counter.
All right.
About that time, Milan goes in through the door, rather annoyed look on his face, double checking the address, looking at his notepad, looking back at the address again. Had to be a flower shop.
After a few minutes, Ailey kind of walks in. She's kind of abrupt with the door. Not even thinking about it, just whips the door open.
Probably slams it into the back of Milan.
She probably walks right into Milan's back. He's already inside.
Whips around.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
it's fine.
She kind of like looks at him and then looks at the door. Is it common to stand in front of doors in this city? She's got a really heavy Scottish accent, by the way.
He can't help but grin at the accent and says, I suppose it is tonight.
Miranda will glance back at these two who are being loud and
Ailey kind of looks up and flashes her a grin. And kind of steps alongside of Milan so as not to ram into him again.
He says, right. Sticks his little book in his shirt pocket. Moves away.
do
from
either
the
of you look alive?
Miranda's seen Ailey's before.
Miranda's seen a lot of people. I'm just asking if you look alive.
No, Ailey is
By what
definitely not
standards?
alive.
I have no idea what your
She
robe
has life
does.
sight up, so
I don't know
she
what that
can
does.
see if things are living. The more alive they are, the more they kind of glow. Think of it like heat vision almost.
So,
It's
I
usually
mean,
one of the
I'm the
best ways to
vampire, so
describe it.
whatever that shows up as.
So he's registers cool and muted.
Mhm.
Oh, you run shit.
Cool and muted, yes.
That's Milan. Puts on his Ray-Bans and goes out and waits for the sunrise.
There are two of you and heretical. Oh, this is not going to go well. I'm very certain of that. Oh boy. And she will turn back to the counter and go up to the woman.
Yeah, and the woman, she's very, very almost bouncy. Turns around and kind of, not quite a skip, but close, over to the counter and says, "Can I get you something, dear?"
I am looking for some information. I am. I'm- I heard that many peoples they have gotten the flowers lately. That was a secret delivery for Valentine's Day, and I did not get mine.
Well, I don't know all the details. We don't offer delivery ourselves. Our, we do have a pickup service.
Is it the usual same persons who keep picking up, or other peoples, or do you have the scene?
I have not. We don't. We don't monitor too heavily the doors themselves. You know, that's fairly well automated process. So
Oh, have I seen her any recent things of Gunners that casual social events?
this particular woman, though.
No. Okay. Um, Milan was at the church, wasn't he?
Um, Out of character. That
When they went
was a
searching for the
long,
priest's stuff.
yeah, like
Yes.
a long time ago.
She looks back to Milan. You are a detective, see?
Yes. And he kind of squints at you a little bit.
Ailey's eyes kind of shift over towards him at mention of that.
There is how you say, I have been speaking too much Old Norse to remember English at the moment. There's have I know you are not here for tea.
Hmm.
Are you here for flowers?
I am not here for flowers.
You are you are not not.
He grins. I'm here for flowers.
Oh. So she's gonna turn back to the counter. You have the kind of flowers you guys made them here. You bundle them up and prepare them. See.
Yes, we do gift wrapping, that sort of thing. Um, most of them, if I don't grow myself, I import and then we package, process, that sort of thing.
So, where do you get all these flowers that were poisonous that were sent it out?
Well, we did have some requests for some of those types of flowers, but we didn't send anything out in bouquets like have been being found. In fact, we haven't sold enough of all those flowers to have for them to have originated here
Do you know
entirely.
any? Do you know anywhere else in the city that has been having these flowers
The flower,
competition
the
or?
flowers themselves, I don't see often. Or not a big high demand for it.
Do you have any type of security cameras that may have a view on that drop box?
We unfortunately don't use any kind of direct security, and we're paid through a PayPal type service, so it's not. We get limited information from the transaction, and they get a specific code for the shelf they're picking up at, and away they go.
Out of game. So it's not probable that someone could pick up or tamper with someone else's order based on the way the Dropbox works, or would we not know that?
At first glance, it doesn't appear to like it would be a problem.
Like it would be a problem to tamper with someone, or like tampering wouldn't be a problem?
Right, tampering wouldn't be. It'd be pretty straightforward, unless you got like their order code or whatever.
Okay.
So where do you grow those flowers here, or do you import those flowers?
Well, most of them I've cultivated. I started them from small cuttings. There are some, of course, that we can't get, so those we have to bring in whole and fresh and try and make sure the quality is there.
So where do you get them from then, if you do not grow them yourself?
Well, as I said, there's some few that we get from other partner shops in the area. There's some I've had to import, which typically means buying or bringing with me, transport when I bring them in. I don't have even my own imported flowers delivered directly here. I've got a small storage space for that.
Who else has access to this storage space?
Hmm.
Also, Aaron's back. He accidentally left.
Does the shopkeeper look like flustered at all that we're asking all these questions?
Not really. She looks like she's kind of used to weird questions. She's also looks possibly mildly eccentric. She's done in a very like traditional witch looking garb, but then bright colors mixed in and that sort of thing.
Aaron is there. He's outside. He's looking at the drop box. He's like examining it, seeing if there's anything weird about it.
Ailey's been listening to her face to try to listening to what they're saying and watching the person who's working here's face to see if she's if she's telling the truth, basically. Want me to make a perception empathy?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, Aaron is using his case, and do you want me to make a wits, a perception or awareness roll for matter to try and see if there's any vestiges of M poison going on? Because once you yank them out the ground, they're matter.
I got 3 successes.
Is there anyone else in the shop at all, or is it just like us?
No, there's a couple of what appear to be regular folks just sitting up at the front, drinking tea.
Miranda looks at the regular folk, looks back at the woman behind the counter. She then kind of leans in so she can talk quietly to the woman, and she says, "Can I test your blood?"
She kind of seems a little taken aback at that.
If you are worried, I can heal it afterwards. It's no big deal. Just a little bit.
Milan just kind of cocks his head, like, let's see where this goes.
And she kind of flashes her grin, and she has those little fangs showing.
Alia raises an eyebrow at that.
The woman behind the counter says, "No, we just, with all the uphill battles for contamination and stuff, we just can't take any kind of risks. We want to stay a clean and upscale establishment."
Then we can go in the back and to the restroom. You can then wash your hands. Be done over with. I know you will heal just fine. It is not a problem.
The woman kind of shakes her head, looks at you again, a little odd, and says, "Why don't you just have a seat? Let me know what type of tea you'd like. I'll get the first one on the house. I want to make sure I get to these couple other folks in here too. Wouldn't be good for business to be turning people away."
Jasmine black tea. And she smiles because she thinks she understands what the woman's gonna do.
And the woman will brew you a cup of tea, and then she heads over. She checks with the regular folks at the tables first, and then comes up and can I get any of you folks anything in specific?
Out of game, did she already? I can't remember if she kind of gave her opinion on where she thought the poisonous bouquets had come from.
She just had said that they didn't come out of her shop, although some of the flowers in them could have originally.
But based on our initial rolls, we're all pretty sure that they did come out of the shop.
Well, that this shop would be a good place to start. If it's not the one, it's
Okay.
probably very related because there's not a huge market.
Okay,
and she may be able to help you.
And someone already, I think, asked what the competition was as far as like who else would have these sorts of flowers. Is that right?
Miranda asked, but she never answered.
Okay.
Right.
So when she asks if
Mhm.
what everybody else wants, Milan will just ask her, "Do you have anyone who would be trying to hurt your business?"
Well, she says we have issues, not just my business, but kind of the whole market has had some issues. We had contamination in some of the herbs and teas that really hurt us. Some of us had to even shut down altogether for a while. Um, a lot of apothecaries became metaphysical shops in the meantime because it was a way to keep cash flow going. I was able to amp up the tea side of things because my teas were not coming back contaminated. It was the herbal supplements and stuff.
So you don't know of anyone who would specifically be targeting your business?
No, not that I can think of. Most of the time, people don't bother with my shop. It's a relatively small little outfit, and those people who do come in tend to come in for tea, and that's it. We keep the imagery light enough to not disrupt anyone. And
Mhm. So if you were us and you were looking into these poisonous flowers, what would your first step be?
At that point, Aaron comes in the door, and he just looks at the lady. He looks. He didn't acknowledge anyone. He goes, "Who is your delivery people?"
she,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Oh, Ailey was just gonna kind of chuckle at his abrupt entry and lean on the counter and just start looking at merchandise, as it were. She's listening and watching her face to see reactions.
And the woman at the counter looks at Aaron and says, "Can I help you with something specific, sir?"
You can
Are
answer.
you,
You can
we,
answer the question I just asked.
They do not have their own.
I'm trying to understand like the context here because we typically don't provide direct delivery ourselves.
I get
We
that.
offer pickup.
Yeah, you have a pickup box there. So who messes with that? Who watches that?
I guess anyone could be said to as you put it, mesh with it.
So
We
you
have
just
a variety of customers that use it. Some of them are regulars and just find it more convenient because they know what they want. A lot of times it's a businessman who wants to pick up flowers on his way home. So having the access being around unusual hours.
so if you made a regular bouquet of whatever gonna be dead flower plant things, and you left them in the little box, somebody could change that, and the idiot that took it home wouldn't know any better, right?
Well, you can't get into the section of your box without the code that your confirmation code.
He tells her the code. You mean that code?
That would probably be a code for the current order. It's think of it like a tracking number.
Okay, let me go check it out. Pop. Is it poisonous?
The one that's in there now is not.
He closes it back. Okay, that's not the one I want.
You see, what we offer is, and we can accommodate up to 12 individual orders. They order online. We build their bouquet. Typically, it's flowers, but as I said, we do have some. Maybe it's a batch of teas. We bag it up. We put it in one of the boxes. We enter in a code that secures it, and then that code is what gets sent to the customer. They can use that code on pickup.
Are these codes
So
unique with every order?
We use a generator, so I guess it is as unique as any random number generator will get. But
So if they can order stuff online, Ailey kind of opens her phone and starts going through on their website just to see what they provide as their as everyone else is talking to this lady. Specifically the flower options.
And hello, Erin. How are you tonight?
Busy.
I see that are you following me here?
No. You're the last person I want to see.
I am hurt.
If you were human, I might believe that, but you're not.
I'm as hu- I am more human than you are.
If that makes you feel better.
Ailey's the side of Ailey's lip kind of quirks up into a smile listening to this exchange. She's trying not to laugh at you guys.
all right, I'm back. The flower options for online purchase are fairly generic themed. You can get themed by color. They do specific anniversary, get well soon type bouquets. They've got some themes built around what's the right word for it? Like almost a belief or like in a cult theme. So you've got your flowers for divination type or to protect against spirits type. Kind of playing towards that metaphysical shop that they'd hinted at.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. These flowers were never delivered.
So there's no like special request option or anything on here?
There is, there's. I mean, there's certainly if it's like if you don't see what you're looking for, look, you can fill out like almost a contact us form, or if you're looking for something specific, we can help.
Gotcha.
This place is a waste of time. Yes, most assuredly. Thank you for being not useful to my investigation, ma'am. Have a nice day.
She kind of scratches her head and she goes, "Sorry, I couldn't be of more help."
Okay, I'll explain it in terms you'll understand. Newsflash: very, very dangerous people think that your place is the hub of the poisonous flowers. If they don't get any answers, they're going to come back and destroy your life. So if you don't want to be helpful, that's on you. Good day, ma'am. Please.
Well then.
Ay, pinche pendejo.
Jump
She,
straight to bad cop.
She kind of scratches her head again and goes and says, we do seem to get a little bit of all sorts around here. My apologies if you were disrupted.
Go ahead.
Almost wonder if I'm being punked or some 1940s gangster type threat. I was half expecting him to ask for my protection money.
No, he is a very interesting individual, and apparently becoming more of an asshole.
I guess I don't know what his point was there. I've certainly heard about some unusual flower bouquets. I've done some strange requests myself.
What kind of strange requests?
Well, I've had what were some of my oddest ones? I had one that the only flowers they wanted used were flowers that would open under moonlight or at night, which was a little unusual because, number one, typically the goal is for people to see your flowers. So if they're all closed up all day, most people are not seeing them. I had one where it was they were very specific. It had to be 13 roses. It had to be, make sure I get this right, 7 black, and then 3 white, and 4 white and 4 red.
That is 15, not
So
13.
it was 3 and 3. I had it right the first time. 3 white, 3 red, and 7 black. And the black ones had to be dethorned. I also had one for a full-size sunflower bouquet.
Full size.
That one we couldn't do through the self-service, needless to say. And we ended up bundling them a lot like a coin stock bale around the fall holidays, because there's just no good way to handle a 6-foot tall flower.
Did she give Miranda the tea with blood?
No, there's just tea.
So, is there anybody outside looking at the place? Any like a van, anybody watching, like that?
There's not, but if you can roll me a perception, I guess it'd be alertness typically.
Does sharp-eyed count for this?
Yes.
Diff? Difficulty?
Let me look here. It will be a difficulty of 8.
I got 1 success because I spent willpower points.
All right. You notice a person, you presume male from the walk, in a black long coat and wide-brimmed black hat, walking away with a bouquet of flowers.
Did we not see him go inside? Is he coming from here?
No, you're not. You didn't see him in the shop.
Didn't see him outside the shop either.
Correct.
In true Aaron fashion. Excuse me. Pardon me. You in the hat.
Milan probably hears that from inside, kind of looks out the window, like, what's he doing now?
Yeah, you guys would certainly hear it from inside. There's no doubt about that. If he's yelling down the street, the guy does kind of pick up his pace. Not. He looks like he's trying to be discreet, but he's doing the fast walk thing now.
Oh, goody.
Seeing Marcus obviously start going after the person and yelling at this person, Miranda's gonna go and see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, Ailey's curiosity kind of gets her to take a step outside, but while she's doing it, she's going to send her cousin a text message, her ghoul, and suggest that he try to order some of these flowers advertised in the news from this shop and see what kind of answers he gets.
And Milan, realizing that he's still actually a cop, sees some guy chasing another guy down the street and decides that it's probably time to do his duty.
Duty.
And heads off after Aaron.
How far down the street is this guy that Aaron's going after?
Probably a block and a half or so.
Is there an alleyway ahead of him that Miranda can see?
There's to some degree. I mean, there's gaps between buildings everywhere. So
Okay. So Miranda is going to duck a bit into the alley so that she's out of line of sight of people and draw a door in the air and step out, coming out the alley where in front of the guy. Does it still count as vulgar if no one can see it?
yeah, it would be the vulgar without witnesses.
Okay. With willpower. And actually, I'm going to drop that a little. Going to spend 2 quint. Because I have 1 success. Can I make it, or will it take more effort to get there?
That should still be. I mean, it's not like you need a duration here. Let me take a look here. That is a minimum successes of 3, so you could put more effort into it and basically continue since you haven't failed.
Okay.
And so I'm going to let everybody else act while you roll your second one here. And
Yep.
so Milan, as a cop, is coming out seeing Aaron hustling down the street yelling at this guy.
Yeah, and he's gonna chase Aaron, chasing this guy.
3 more successes.
All right, so with 3 more, you would almost as he's at the alley, you walk up on him.
She just wants to like step in front of him because he's probably paying more attention to the people that are after him. Señor, hola.
And he kind of stops and looks at you, a little caught off guard.
Those are beautiful flowers. Where do you get them?
So the rest of you guys have seen Miranda just step out of the alley and are now talking to this guy, and who's obviously stops and she right into him.
Ailey's just kind of casually walking up, typing on her phone, looking casual.
Aaron is anything but. Hustle. Jacket flaring. His briefcase is jangling, and he's trying to get there.
Well, he
Milan-
stopped walking, so.
Yeah, so I assume Milan catches up on Aaron, who catches up on this guy probably pretty quick now that he's not moving anymore or walking anymore.
Correct. That would be accurate.
What are you doing? You can't just chase people down the sidewalk.
Why not?
Cite some law about harassing people.
Arrest me?
I might.
Give it a shot. See how long it stays.
Ooh.
It can be. Anyway. Why are you chasing this man? Looks at the man. Why is he chasing you?
Because he's a bad guy.
Ailey kind of eyes up the bouquet in the running dude's hand as she's walking up.
He looks and says, I'm not entirely sure.
If anybody has any weird senses, this might not be using.
Does Life Sight show him as being human otherwise?
Yes. Human, definitely. Very, very vibrant life energy.
Oh, hey now.
So what are the flowers for, Señor?
Well, he says it's always nice to have a get a little surprise for someone. We've got people just need to be reminded that they're being thought of.
Can I run my wits plus BS to see if this guy is BSing us?
Yeah, Ailey's kind of checking for lies here and watching his facial cues to see how he feels about this random group approaching.
Aura perception is int empathy plus aspects, right?
Yeah, sure. It's your power. Aaron is gonna take off a piece of his briefcase, his little scanner. He can flip his phone around, and he's gonna run it over the bouquet and use matter and find out what the hell kind of plants they are, because that's what magic does.
Our perception is perception empathy at difficulty 8.
Perception, empathy.
It's perception, empathy at 8.
How do I not have any empathy?
Because you're dead.
That's probably true.
I
2
have more empathy.
on the thingy, the aura perception.
And are these, what kind of flowers are these with Miranda's degrees in botany and whatnot?
You got life set up. You tell you exactly what
A lot of them are a variety, but it's all ones that have herbal elements or herbal uses type of thing, or metaphysical symbolism to them.
And what's this guy's aura doing?
It's relatively stable with let's see, every signs of a calm, mainly overall it's calm, but there's sort of like a happy idealism to them at the same time.
So where did you get these flowers?
Well, I put my own bookcase together. I get some from different shops, and I find that shops that have a lot of the same beliefs. These maybe not beliefs, but these traditions. Tradition's a good word. You get the traditional floral shops, whether that's tea and flowers, or it's a gardener type of vegetable gardener as well. Uh, some of them are metaphysical shops as well. The flowers just seem to have more spirit to them when they come from a place that's not just growing flowers to give them away, not just growing it to cut it and sell it. There's a almost an emotion imbued into them.
So how often do you do these thing with the flowers?
I try to find flowers generally with good messages and stuff. Regularly, a couple days a week at least.
Muy perfecto. So that means you have been around to many of the shops. Have you seen any that have had those poisonous ones that were being delivered? Other than the little tea shop here?
There are a couple of other shops. Not many carry carry those. Think for the same reasons I go to them, they don't want to stock a lot of them because they have connotations. People get the wrong idea about them.
Do you know if there is a gardener who is growing them? Maybe perhaps.
There that would definitely be possible. There's traditional, definitely a lot of traditional foreigners and such in the city here. So that's certainly a possible option as well. I prefer more positive messages, things like healing or in memory of, or and he kind of looks at Miranda and then he grabs his holds up the bouquet again and says, or perhaps you believe in coincidence, and he says, and their flowers symbolizing vitality and fertility.
Can I pick this guy's pocket on the low in front of everybody? What's the difficulty on that? Just so that no one sees it.
You want to do it so no one sees it?
Yeah.
It's tax larceny, I know that.
Yeah, I'd say
Pretty wise.
it's probably going to be diff 8 to have no one see it. And then everyone else will get a perception alertness.
At -5 dice.
Right.
I will still have dice to roll.
Cool.
Wow.
I got 2 whole successes.
I got one on my one die.
What are we rolling to see that? Perception.
Perception alertness, but it's -5 dice.
5 dice. And I had
-5.
6 dice
-5 dice? Okay.
because of his silly arcane.
Well, then I don't have any dice, so it's no point to roll.
Fair enough.
And Miranda will smile and take the bouquet and say, gracias. It is very interesting that you have these flowers in particular. I will have to see if I can give them to Ruth again.
For the bouquet, out of character, for the bouquets that had gone around with the poisonous flowers, were they all the same bouquet? Like the same arrangement of flowers or whatever?
Reports didn't say for sure, but it sounded like they were at least very similar.
Okay. And they all had nightshade in them? Is that what the flower was?
Or a similar type of other types of flowers of similar theme.
Hold tight, John. Out of character. So the idea is that the flowers all had poisonous flowers, but the poisonous quote unquote flowers are all flowers that have herbal / metaphysical like meaning to them, right?
Oh, well, it could be. There would certainly be an interpretation. The literal report is just that these flowers all had potential poisonous applications. I would say if you have something like belief systems or
Esoterica?
I'd allow an esoterica at diff 8, yeah.
Any weird lores that would come in handy?
Not that I can think of on that one.
What about forensic pathology?
I think that would more be if you found one in use.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. You just PM me what I got off the guy.
With Miranda's knowledge of plants and how to grow them, would she be able to tell where in the city would probably be the best to grow these particular plants?
I would say a wits and survival would be applicable to see if you can figure that out.
Wits, I have survival. Wow.
Aaron is done fucking with this guy, so he just kind of takes what he got, and he just kind of walks back toward the other place where he was, and he's gonna like call a cab.
3 successes.
All right, 3 successes. You would know that most of these would have to be cultivated in some sort of greenhouse environment.
Does she know of any greenhouses large enough to cultivate this kind of quantity of plant?
She knows that there aren't any.
Okay. So we have to find a non-existing greenhouse. Perhaps I do not know how they are getting them here. I guess we can go to that cult shop and see if that can give us the leads somewhere else more. And she's just kind of holding the flowers in her arm. Gracias, señor. I hope you have a very pleasant evening.
He nods and says, "You as well. You have to consider it a real lucky roll of dice that we ran into one another. Seems like that bouquet was just made for you."
Sí. Gracias. It is very beautiful.
And I'm glad nothing else happened here with you getting chased. Looks like you're okay. Are you okay to get home?
Yeah, I should be all right.
All right, good.
He is a little bit of a high-strung fellow, but that's it.
And Milan gives him the kind of a curt nod and walks back to the flower shop.
Miranda will make her way to that metaphysical shop that they keep mentioning.
Is that not the same place?
No.
Mm.
They're not the same place.
Did the guy leave?
Yeah, he left.
Do the dice or the pumpkin seeds that I find, do they look weird or do they have weirdness on them? Well, the reason I would know if it's weirdness, I just open up the app and I just make it do its job. Is this like you?
Not like that, but it is different.
He says, "Go farm me more gold," and then he looks. He looks at every. If anybody approaches him, and he goes, "Did they walk back toward the place, or they saw there kibitzing?"
Mm-hmm.
He flips the app over. So it says that weird is they're all weird. Does the app say they're all weird?
Yes.
He flips that back over and looks at the three of them and goes, "I don't care what you are, but you all have superpowers. I need you to use your superpowers to help me find the answer to these questions."
Of course. Why did I not think about that?
Anyway, these seeds and these dice that were in his pocket, they're weird some kind of way. I don't know how.
He's like you and me.
Nah, the app says the stuff's weird. I checked the app. I don't know what it means.
It says it's weird.
Yeah, the app says the stuff's weird. It's not.
Weird how so?
It's not alien or dimensional or an EDE. That much is certain. But it could be they are strange in some way that I don't understand because that's weird magic stuff, and I don't do magic.
What precisely does it say? And
I'll
she's got her resting bitch face
Yeah.
plastered on.
You're kind of slow, ain't you? This app tells me if something is otherworldly or not.
Okay. Yes.
This stuff is otherworldly in some way I don't understand. So, auspexy vampire at it or something, if you're a vampire. Or wolfy at it some kind of way.
He just like stares at him like
Exactly what he says.
Don't be mad. He is always like this.
Like what?
I think that speaks enough for itself.
Out of game. Can he use like the heightened senses to like sniff it and then change it to like lick one of those things and see if they can mix that with like an investigation roll to see if he can like Sherlock Holmes that it came from like the docks on the west side of town kind of a deal?
Miranda, this is like your stuff, the weird stuff that's not science.
I would allow a perception, alertness with aspects to try and discern like unique characteristics.
Yeah, I weighed about 14. About
Okay,
12.
so what would the diff be on that? Standard?
Yes.
He's gonna need the €200 to pay for the cap, so he's gonna keep that. But the other stuff, yeah.
All right, so I've got perk 4, alertness 2, and then 2 in aspect, so 8. Am I understanding that right?
Heightened senses reduces your difficulty by your number of dots.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't add.
All right,
Right.
so 6 at a diff of 4 then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because aspects is silly like that.
4 successes.
Four successes. You know that it's picking up on certain. It has notes of like a real rich soil. It's also got a almost like a spice to it. That's probably the best word for it. It's got like a spiciness to it, like a clove and gingery type tone.
Yeah, so Milan, as he's detecting these things, is just kind of absent-mindedly saying them out. Rich soil, spices, yeah, that kind of thing.
And you'll pick up on some like tobacco notes and stuff too, and you would know that that's not going to be something that's used. It's not a typical planting. It's not just like a potting soil or something. Um,
What would he need to roll? Because I mean, I have no idea. To maybe put those things together into something useful for him.
that's what I'm looking right now with the best.
Miranda walks back into an alleyway.
Haley kind of raises an eyebrow as she watches Miranda.
Milan is licking pumpkin seeds. He doesn't care what Miranda's doing.
Yeah, she just thinks it's weird that he's over here licking pumpkin seeds.
You got something handy, or you just doing what you do, sitting there looking angry?
She kind of she just kind of glances briefly at Aaron, but her focus is on what Miranda's doing in the alley.
Right. That was interesting.
I'm going to have Milan do a wits and survival.
Miranda's gonna pull out a small little mirror.
I need Miranda to roll a. Let's go to the wits and empathy.
So he spent will, which gives him 3 successes.
Alright, with 3 successes, you would know that something like that would come from like a it's going to be someplace that does gardening or that sort of, some sort of box growth. This wouldn't be a soil you'd have in a field. It's something you'd have in pots, and it would be someplace that's like an organic focused, that sort of thing.
So probably likely the same kind of greenhouse sort of environment where our poisonous flowers are coming from.
Yeah, you would say that's probably a fair guess.
Do the dice have any markings on them or anything weird?
They are.
With their Pathfinder, I think I'm on fire.
You will notice that where normally there's a one on the dice, these have a single raven instead. Other than that, they're standard like 6-sided dice.
With all these connotations and stuff, John, and all that stuff, can my character make a research roll or Google if there's any like weird, well, not weird, if there are any celebrations or rituals or something that are going on this time of year where we are?
Sure.
Miranda got 3 successes. No, 2. Sorry.
Right, 2 successes. She didn't quite put it all together at first, but she thought the fellow's voice sounded vaguely familiar. And gave her the flowers.
She bites her thumb to draw blood, and she draws a pentagram on the mirror. And she uses that to scry and see where he's going. With 3 successes. And she's watching him, hoping to hear him speak again to try and place his voice.
She will see him coming down the continuing down alleys and whatnot, and the raven comes down, and he just kind of starts humming. And the raven's almost cooing along with it.
Do I recognize this raven?
You don't.
Oh, God, I feel like Oh. She's pretty sure he's not just a human, though, right now. Was this the guy? It wasn't one of the guys from the party, was it?
Well, as just as he turns the corner and the connection is kind of lost, you hear him kind of from the stop humming, and he just kind of sings under his breath a little bit, real quietly, about dancing with Jack of the Shadows.
That was Jack. She's going. She puts the mirror away. Did she see like about where he was when she lost sight of him?
It was an alley, but it was hard for her to tell which one.
She puts the mirror away and she starts walking back out to out of the alleyway, and she's fidgeting with her hands, the bouquets under one arm.
Everything all right?
I know that man. I have not seen him like that, but I know that man.
Okay.
Oh my god. That is. Oh my. I have never seen him looking human like that. When I saw him, he was very much. I really should not be having this conversation in the middle of the street. So I am going to
She leans forward and says, "Whisper in my ear."
He is. He's not human. He's not werewolf. He's not vampire. And I am not sure if he is the fairy folk or no. But he is not human. And that's what she whispers in Ailey's ear. Ailey's.
That's interesting.
Jack of the Shadows.
Well,
Is he going on his dice bag?
It is not the stuff that I am doing the magic with. It is the fair folks. That is what. Oh. She knows where she wants to go now.
I know one of those guys.
Where are we going?
Where the party was. It is in the forest.
The party?
In the forest?
See, the earth became very fertile in that area. Very, rich and healthy.
Was there a sacrifice?
Is somewhere, see?
Can Milan activate Taste of Blood on those whatever he's licking?
I mean, I guess they're pumpkin seeds, so there's no blood there. But
Well, when he brought up the thing about the sacrifice, if there was any like dried blood or anything, or maybe he had tasted
actually, no, you didn't pick up any
it. Okay.
indication that there was.
And Miranda's heading to where that party was.
Since basically everything she just described seems to fit his pumpkin seed tasting, that sounds like a valid place to go.
How far is it from here?
Far enough, you probably don't want to walk.
I'm parked down the street.
Miranda's kind of glowing, like happiness right now, because that was a very important night for her.
Gotcha.
Aaron
knows nothing about that.
Aaron, who is normally warm, gets warmer.
Miranda will give directions to where she wants to go.
Ailey will kind of step away from Aaron, feeling his obnoxious warmth and
Hatred. His hatred, too. Yes, hatred.
well, like I said, my vehicle's down this way if anyone needs a ride to where she said we were going.
I'll hitch a ride.
I'll take a cab.
She kind of motions towards a dark blue SUV with tinted windows.
You guys are really bad at this whole masquerade thing.
You sure you want to take a cab? There's room. Might have to sit in the back seat, though.
I mean, Milan would have seen Ailey at vampire stuff. Not that I personally have attended any of that stuff, but Milan probably would have at some point. Would he have seen her at those things?
I mean, she's only really been to to two things. One was when the meeting when the city first started splitting ways, when they decided how things are going to be split, and then one at Gunner's Court. And that was it. So I don't think you were in either of those.
Yeah, okay. Then never mind.
John, is this the place where Aaron first met his rider?
No. Unless you went there previously before the party.
No, because I don't think Aaron's ever been there. This is the
fairy forest.
The fairy forest.
Has my mentor given me some sort of thing that I'm supposed to wear that lets people know he's my mentor? It just adds to my yay primal mark, so everybody knows who I'm down with. Yay, screw me over harder.
Yeah, it would probably some sort of like a.
It's either a torque or it's spiritual, and I can't see it anyway.
Well, I was saying you probably got like it would be like used as a tie pin, or you could put a pin on your collar.
All right, cool.
Type of sigil.
He kind of pulls it out and puts it on. It's annoying. You must abide by all the parties. He looks at is it Eiley or Ilo or
Ailey?
He doesn't know her name. He just goes, "I'm supposed to not say thank you to old things. You might be old. I'm supposed to say I appreciate what you're doing."
She raises an eyebrow. Well, it's a good thing I'm not old.
I would not like to be in your debt. My soul is my own. It's like he's reading a script. He so doesn't believe what he's saying. Yeah. Okay
then. And she looks at she gives Miranda a nod because she knows Miranda, and she says, "Oh, I suppose an introduction would be cool, huh?" She kind of glances between Aaron and Milan.
I have seen him before, and I have seen him before the city went the different ways, and I have seen you before. We were at a party together.
We were at a party together.
See,
There's probably sex.
Uh,
Should be sex.
and she looks at both of them and she's like, I'm Ailey.
I am
I
Miranda. This is Aaron. This is Milon.
I remember meeting you at that party, Miranda, but it's a pleasure to meet you, Aaron, Milan.
Lon just gives the kind of the nod. Yeah, you too. A little
I
bit
So
appreciate
awkwardly.
convincing.
Yeah.
She kind of smiles.
It's not like he's trying to exude that he's pleased to meet anyone. It's kind of more of a like he knows that that's sort of what he's supposed to say,
Oh,
and you sort of kind of get that vibe, I would guess, because he's not really trying to hide anything.
all right, let's get moving.
Do you mind if I
Okay.
smoke?
Do you? I don't mind if you smoke. Does
Please do
anyone
not
else?
smoke. I have in mind. I have a problem with this right now.
Ailey kind of holds up a cigarette herself.
I am
What's your-
pregnant. Por favor.
You're what?
I am having babies.
Like, okay.
baby is plural or baby?
I do not know yet, but I am definitely pregnant.
I definitely don't miss that.
Milan, congratulations.
Gracias.
Ailey looks very sincere when she says, I don't miss that.
Aaron goes, don't fuck that up. He goes and sits in the back seat.
Well, if you're happy, that's all that matters. She smiles slightly.
We are very happy.
Uh-huh.
So happy.
Mm-hmm.
Is your friend back?
Huh?
Whose friend?
Aaron. Aaron has this friend that Aaron has said is the riding shotgun.
You mean my business partner?
Who,
See, his
who the
partner.
fuck is Aaron? Who the fuck is your business partner that
For
rides
fuck's
you?
sake, you know Air too?
She's my neighbor. She lives next door to me.
Of course she does.
For a
Who-
second. What you-
Who the I don't know who this air chick is.
She is a very wonderful woman, and she is my midwife for when I have the babies.
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch? Is that what you said? She looks at Aaron.
Yeah.
She does not take shit from peoples.
That doesn't make you not a bitch.
Oh. Well,
That's not my estimation of it. My writer says that's good terminology for it.
I only met her once, but it left an impression.
In
Oh.
your face, because she's violent.
she's violent.
Oh yeah. She's like violence with feet.
Violent
tracks.
with feet.
Yeah, so if there's ever a situation where like you don't really want to deal with the violence, you just say air, bad guy, and it'll die in a spectacular fashion.
I can think of many spectacular ways for individuals to die.
You know, the DSM-4 has a name for people like
Milan detaches himself from the banter and starts writing notes in his notebook about, the pumpkin seeds and the dice and
We're ready to roll, man. We're just waiting for
All right.
75.
Well, Get in, let's go. She kind of opens the driver's seat door and plops herself in the seat.
Aaron
Friend.
undoes something under his coat sleeve because he's not taking off his coat because he's a weirdo, and he has a great big knife that's under there. That he has under his sleeve also. He kind
Milan
of
just gets in one of the back seats and keeps writing his notes.
Miranda will get in the front seat.
All right, and Miranda, you know where we're going, so
See,
instruct.
drive it like you stole it.
you go this way.
Oh, honey,
Then go this way.
I don't need to steal a damn thing. She smirks and proceeds into driving.
But don't get pulled over. I don't want to do paperwork.
You
I don't
won't.
want to get pulled over either.
You won't.
It's not fun. Yep, so driving.
All right, so you arrive at the fairy forest. It's relatively quiet tonight, so not much happening.
Ailey kind of looks the forest over and looks at Miranda.
Miranda is walking quickly into the forest
Wait,
where
what kind of furry things live here?
I am not worried about it. I will just talk to them. We are is be good. We are bien. No problem.
That's not how that works.
See, it is.
You just talk to all the furry things.
See, although there was this
would
one
want
time.
to rip your throat out and maul you.
Yeah, yes, there are some that are not the furry animals that you see. They are actually people, and I cannot talk to them as well because they do not like being called a cute puppy dog. So he's just telling you, be careful which ones you call a cute puppy dog, because they do not think it is very cute to be called a puppy dog.
Hmm.
But
Did
no,
you
there should
call
not be
one a
anything
cute puppy
dangerous
dog?
here. See, I did. We're actually fairly good friends now, I think.
Aaron actually
See.
does take off his jacket and he rolls up his sleeve. And those of you who've never seen Aaron's arm before see he has a burn scar, but that burn scar has got stuff on it, and that stuff is Futhark. You can read Futhark and see what it says.
Ailey cringes, noting the burn. You and the furry thing are good friends. She starts walking,
See.
and looking around, like she definitely looks nervous being in a wooded area.
I may have had sexual relations with some of them.
Big surprise there.
Milan's got this look on his face like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
And Ailey cringes again at the mention of sexual relations with furry things.
He has to unstrap this weird contraption off his wrist just so you can see the whole thing, but he puts that back in the car. And he puts the knife that he has in like a back sheath. He takes the briefcase too. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Milan checks his sidearm, his pistol, to make sure that there's one in the chamber, and then is ready to head in.
Ailey kind of smirks, noting his firearm.
It's completely legal.
It's okay.
And-
I have a knife.
I'm
that
sure
matter?
it is.
He just goes, that matters.
To some.
Okay.
Are you
And
some?
Miranda's gonna start making her way to where the orgy happened.
Where the
Oh.
orgy happened? That's
What?
She doesn't say that out loud. I'm just saying
Oh.
that so that
Okay.
the ST knows where she's going.
Okay.
It's gonna be a party.
No, the party was back in October.
Aaron cleared his throat a couple times.
And then there was the even better party in December.
You are a party girl. How is that gonna how are you gonna manage that now that you can't party?
I am finding new ways to party that are set for bebés.
I have a VR program.
So you have virgin margaritas?
No,
Probably got virgin blood in him.
no. He is delicious though. Oh. She just
Anytime,
fans herself.
anytime, Miranda. Anytime. Let's go forward. Come on. We got stuff to do.
She's walking. She's walking this whole time. She hasn't stopped walking.
He's being creeped out. He's letting you know that he's being creeped out. Makes it feel kind of funny, like when they used to climb the rope in gym class.
So yeah, where exactly are we going? She's kind of looking around the woods, all paranoid.
We're going to where the event happened, where the ground was made very fertile.
Very what?
Fertile?
That's not
Fertile?
okay.
Okay.
Walking, walking, walking.
Just
Walking,
keep
walking,
walking.
walking. I heard the Mario. Let's keep walking.
You've done all the right appeasements and whatnot.
So
ST?
there is. Sorry, I had apparently unplugged my mic on myself.
Hi, John.
Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of night. So, as I wonderfully described to myself, the gates are open, and there's actually looks like they're doing workshops tonight on metaphysical properties of different plants. Although tonight appears to be fruits and vegetables throughout history.
Aaron stops at the open gates and he kind of looks at the assemblage of people that are rocking with him and he goes, "So we just walk in, right?"
I don't know. I've never been here before.
It's not what I mean. I'm taking these nightclubs and their rules. And I don't know if we're within the rules. So are we?
Ailey just kind of shrugs and looks at Miranda.
Miranda hasn't stopped walking.
She's gonna in the yep, she's gonna go in there. My character knocks on the gate. Tink tink.
Lon has no point of reference with this kind of thing, so he's just following Miranda, who seems to know what she's doing.
Right?
All right, so you guys all walk in. Aaron knocks on the gate.
Yes.
All right. And Aaron, you will find you are there as a man comes around the corner, and he's dressed in almost like a Mr. Rogers type feel to it. He's got khakis, the sweater vest and stuff, and big gardening gloves. And he comes up and says, "Is there something we can help you folks with?"
Did he come up to all of us or just Aaron?
Up to Aaron, who knocked.
He goes, I don't know the rules in particular here, but I know there are some. If you're here, like she says you're here, I want to observe them and not lose any of my superpowers. And then he just points to his pen. So if I ask you what the rules are, you got to tell me.
He looks at the pin, kind of rubs his head a little bit. And then he goes, "Very well." You hear him kind of grumble a little bit. And he says, "Why is it always politics?"
You taking night classes?
Well, it's a open to the public event, of course. We have the guest rules, standard rules as a guest and host. We also ask that discretion be applied, as not everybody who is attending is likely to know what's going on. Food and beverage are provided free of charge.
Food.
Nothing attached with that.
All right.
Information is provided freely by the host.
Yeah, if we ask for it.
Well, if asked, yes, and also within the scope of the lesson.
Okay, so before those three over there that are moving there, they're nominally with me. So if you're going to want to talk to them, you should definitely go do that, because I don't know anything that they're, I don't know. Yep. I'll wait here while you go do that with them over there.
He nods and says, "Very good, sir. If there's anything you need, the name is Benson."
I enter. I'm gonna walk in now and not do anything stupid.
That's always a appreciated response.
Okay, bye. You can go do the thing now. I'm gonna walk in slowly. He does. He doesn't like try and catch up or anything. He lets them go have the conversation he needs to have over there. He doesn't need to be over there.
And they will. Benson comes to the rest of you and approaches and says, "Good evening, ladies and
Hello.
gentlemen.
Good evening.
Buenas noches.
My name is Benson, and it's been brought to my attention you are with the gentleman back there.
Sí, he came with us. I am actually here because Jack had given me flowers, and something that the fellow mentioned made me think of this place. Um, was Jack here earlier tonight?
Yeah, looks and says, I'm not sure who you're referring to when you say Jack. We've had a couple of courses tonight, though.
Of shadows?
Sounds like a very theatrical fellow.
He was at when they had the big celebration here back in October. Uh, him and a fellow who the player out of character can't remember the name of the satyr, even though she knew it. She says those two people. Something happened that evening, and there was the. Have you noticed that the ground here has become very strong and fertile?
He says, "Well, I'm sure there's a lot of good reasons for that. It's a good, well-maintained forest. Our groundskeepers do an excellent job."
Have you guys started having like a greenhouse or something similar out here?
Well, we've always done some gardening and tending, and certainly we've done more in recent times.
I am. We are looking for the place that things have been grown, but there are things that would need a greenhouse or very good soils.
Well, we do have good soil.
I know, I made it that way.
Well, can we see the area?
He gestures. He says the forest is generally open to everyone. We've got specific classes tonight. For different gardening, focusing primarily on vegetables.
Nightshades, of course.
What?
A lot of what people call the vegetables. There are actually quite a few of them that are nightshades. So
Okay.
growing them in a greenhouse with vegetables would hide that you are growing something that could be dangerous. How come I did not think of this sooner? Oh, Benson, Senor, gracias. Okay, now they just have to remember where in the city they are growing all of these things.
Out of character. Milan's gonna go sit over and attend one of the classes I have to drop.
Sure.
Later, guys.
Adios.
Um. Well, how many greenhouses, smaller ones, are there for vegetable growing in the city?
Do we have any idea?
Well, you know that's I mean, it's common for people to have like small rooftop greenhouses and stuff for gardens because they not always a lot of yards in the city itself. Um, so it's not uncommon, but they would be very small scale.
I'm going to have to send Beowulf exploring.
Huh?
The most likely gardens for this sort of thing will likely be rooftops and such because there's not a lot of ground space for it.
Okay.
So I will have to send Beowulf looking.
Aaron eventually wanders over to you. Too.
My raven. His name is Beowulf.
Okay, that now it makes sense and I'm less confused. Thank you for the clarification.
Is the guy still there, Benson?
Yes.
He goes, I gotta return something.
He goes,
How do I go? Huh?
I can potentially assist, but
He pulls up the dice bag and the seeds.
Wait, you took those from Jack?
I didn't take anything. Did you see me take anything?
I was busy having flowers put in my face and thought that they were a gift.
Sounds a lot like you didn't see me take anything. Doesn't it?
Oh boy. And Milan was licking his seeds. Lovely.
See,
Sure. Saw anything?
well, we do have a guest speaker that might those might apply to. He does.
Could be perhaps.
So I can take you over to his presentation. It's a very small group thing, but
That sounds fun.
Okay.
so he will lead you over to a small class where there's a fellow. And he looks very similar to the one you were talking to. Or it's the same guy, different outfit completely. However, he's dressed in a very rustic, like a black fur wrapped around his shoulders, black linen and wool clothes, and boots. And he is digging and planting and stuff and discussing uh, various uses for different plant growth. As you guys come up.
Mhm.
He looks similar, but he's not the same guy.
No, it's him. He's just
Changed.
dressed different. Yeah. He finishes up his lecture. There's only about 4 or 5 other people there.
He got here very fast.
Hmm.
He got changed here on has been teaching a class. I guess we're just waiting for Aaron to return the stuff. Probably who's waiting for the stuff for him to be finished with what he's doing, I'm guessing.
So he
That was the plan, yeah.
okay. So he will he finishes up his lecture a little bit. Gets up and comes over. And he says, "I'm sorry you've missed the bulk of the presentation. We were just discussing vegetables native to the regions and their historic uses, traditional recipes, and also the advantage of the plants for the soils and atypical plant use. Not an example from tonight's class. One of my favorite atypical plant uses was planting thorned shrubs, often at the edges of villages, in between fence areas, because it served as a natural barricade. So you didn't have to build fencing all the way through.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'll be doing some additional courses later in the week. If anyone wants to attend, you're more than welcome.
I have your dice. You want them back?
He looks at you a little funny at first. And then he says, "They do look familiar. Of course, I always carry mine in my pocket, so they can't be." He puts his hand in his pocket and he says, "Well, wouldn't you know it? I've been carrying those things for 10 years. Never dropped them once. Fortunately, the one time I do is when a man's around who can find me to bring them back."
Happenstance. Here you go.
Much obliged. Is there
Really?
anything I can do to repay you? Or
I
they,
happen to I happen to be looking for someone who deals with plants. I happens that they might be people observing some sort of ritual, just giving people random poisonous or mystical property plants, bouquets coming out of nowhere.
that would be quite the trick, wouldn't it?
It would be quite the trick. No, yeah, that would be neat. I don't like mysteries.
Well, I can understand that. Many people don't.
Well, it's not so much as I'd like my guys not to get blamed for it because I'm pretty sure we're too idiotic to do it. And since these guys don't have any clue either, I'm pretty sure they have nothing to do with it. So we're trying to figure out who has something to do with it so that we can like not blame each other because we're idiots that way.
If it is the same person that was doing the problems the first time, and they are trying to be more direct now, I I wonder. I don't know. I don't know if they ever found that man. Hmm. They have to have a greenhouse hidden somewhere. Probably the roofs.
Well,
That's
that would be the standard way to do it, but we can't assume that these people are doing anything standard.
the greenhouse needs sunlight, and if you put it underground or inside of another building that does not have large windows all over the outsides of it, uh, then it's not going to get the light that it needs to grow the plants.
Under normal circumstances, no. But if it was something that was normal, would it be popped up on our radar? Probably not. Normally, you would need a greenhouse. Normally, all those factors that you stated would have to be in effect.
I wonder if they got. Has anybody taken some of the earth from this area after the Hollows event? Yak?
I do not believe we've had anyone taking samples.
No, this would have been a significant amount to be able to grow this much plants.
No, I don't. I don't know anything about that. I've been typically the assistant groundskeeper lately, although it's certainly not my facility. I just like to help the things thrive a little bit.
We have definitely done that back in October. It was good seeing you again, Jack.
Yeah. Nods and says, I think we can, if I come up with anything, I will certainly let you know.
Gracias. If you need to leave a message, you can drop it by this location and she'll give him a card for the herb shop that she has.
He will nod and say, I will let you know if I hear of anything.
Gracias.
Aaron, he says, he calls up his mentor on the phone. One sec.
And he'll get an answer rather quickly.
Am I supposed to leave a gift or not?
Well, it's a small gift as is not a bad thing as it falls under the guest responsibilities. Although it's not required, it's generally considered a appropriate measure.
Okay. See you Tuesday. Take a weapon?
He had said he'd see you then.
Okay. He will leave all the seeds that he took, and he'll leave all the dice, and he'll use matter like right there. Actually, he can't use matter for that because he's not that kind of mage. He will just hand him over the knife, and he goes and just gives him the gift. He doesn't say anything. He just gives him the gift. He offers it. It's one of Aaron's blades.
Okay. Is he giving it to anyone in particular?
Jack.
Okay. He takes it and he says, "This will be much appreciated."
He doesn't know how to respond, so he just nods and looks sagely. And then he starts to leave.
Yeah, if anyone needs rides back to wherever, Ely will offer.
Miranda will be dropped off near the woods in another area.
I'm sure Ely knows the area.
Maybe.
All right.
Right. We kind of heads out a bit. Takes their goes their own way, and we will wrap it up there. So, anything else anyone wants to pursue specifically can be done in Blue Books. This has been another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam, a mixed group looking into an unknown flower delivery man. Thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching.